What's good? What's good? What's good in the hood? Welcome back to another episode of the Good in the Hood podcast, man. Joined by special guest, man, damn near co-host this week. I'm saying my boy Uncle Vick is in the building, man. How you feeling, bro?
Feeling great, man. Blessed, honestly.
And this is episode 104. So if it's your first time hearing the podcast, if it's your first time hearing me on the podcast with Vic, just know that this podcast would not exist without one of Vic's creations. I'm saying the Blank Canvas Creatives Network. Shout out to the late great Miss Tierra, man. Always in my heart, always in our thoughts. You know what I'm saying, and I bring up BKC to start off the pod real quick because me and you talked before we started recording. We talked previously in the last few months, and I guess like with the world kind of opening back up post COVID, because for me, the podcast started February right before COVID hit. I'm saying, so when I got to really get into the motions and really become consistent with the podcast, it was in the midst of the pandemic. I'm saying, idle time. I'm saying, working from home, in between jobs, or unemployment, whatever the case may be, in the midst of that. And now that the world's kind of opening back up, it's harder to schedule podcasts, and it's harder to stay in the mix of everything. And of course, as we see the podcast landscape, it's not want to say changing, but it's definitely a different energy in the air. And you also having your own show, saying Uncle Vick Rants. We see our fellow BKC network members, as an Audrey with the what a crime to be alive. We see Matt with True North Views and so on and so forth. And everyone's going through growing pains, I feel like, at this time, and not even growing pains, but just trying to adjust to the climate. How's it been for you? I know you already had struggles with COVID itself this year, like the beast of COVID itself. Just talk about how you've been right now going into 2022 and what you're thinking about in this podcast landscape.
Honestly, podcasting as a whole is in a peculiar place, right?
Very peculiar.
I was listening. Joe Budden said something yesterday when I was listening to the episode. He said, and he wasn't just speaking about podcasting, but it resonated with me. He was talking about people like business owners and people coming out of the pandemic with all the new, they said last year was the most millionaires created ever. You know what I'm saying? And Joe Budden said, if you ain't figured it out by 2022, it's too late. And that struck me. Like, whoa.
I disagree with that very much.
Yeah. I do too.
Yeah.
But it struck me because now you look at it, everybody has a podcast. I've seen people do podcasts in their driveways. People do, like you said, the Blank Canvas Network is a network. We only named 4 podcasts, but it's a lot more.
Get your bars off. Yeah, so many more.
Yeah, get your bars off, quality minutes, et cetera, et cetera. We keep going.
What's my boy Cordell's pod name? I shout Cordell out, man, because Cordell been eating.
The Devil's Advocate.
Devil Advocates. Yeah, man. They get into it.
Those dudes they connect me to my youth. I love those dudes, man. But
love to hear that. Your podcasting is in a super weird place, man.
There's a lot of good ones. There's a lot of bad ones. There's a lot of all that's subjective. But that space is becoming so crowded. It's like the era of mixtapes when when people realize you can get in the industry with a mixtape. That's what's happening right now.
Yeah, and you mentioned Joe in that same episode. I remember Joe saying, like, in comparison to fans and our fans like buying free content or whatnot, and that's what the mixtape era came to my mind when we was talking about that, because like a lot of us remember the mixtape era. And indulge in that free music and that free content nonstop to the point where albums damn near became free, and that's what we got the streaming era.
Pretty much what it is.
The albums are free. You pay monthly, but like all music is free right now. Because,
music is free, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, podcast, everything is free.
Yeah, man, and I think that because even to be honest, I don't want to say quit. I took a hiatus from Uncle Vick Rants about 2 months ago. I chime in a month or so, just because like when I go back home to Detroit, everybody's asking me like, "Yo, where the Reds at, dog?" And I'm like, "Man, I'm going through
your numbers are going crazy before you got hit with the COVID.
Yeah, I know, right? For me to stop, that was almost like some May shit. Leave on top.
Hey, I didn't say it. I did not say it, y'all. Vic said it. I did not say no Mace references. I ain't just Mace today. That was Vic.
But yeah, because I was starting to be overwhelmed, honestly. And even with the popular podcasts right now, a lot of them to me don't have that thing that they had when they first came in. Like outside of Drink Champs.
Drink Champs is the podcast.
Right? I'm not really invested.
And we had this convo on Twitter briefly. And for me, like you mentioned the Rory and Mal podcast, something I really just haven't been able to get into, mostly because I feel like the biggest element missing from that podcast is Joe, because they just talk about the industry shit a lot, and I really don't care. And like for me, on the other hand,
that's what Joe and them doing.
But Joe,
Joe's podcast. But see,
Joe's,
you got Patreon.
Yeah,
I'm not. So it's not fair of me to judge it when it's two different sectors.
This podcast, the podcast episode.
But I'm not getting Patreon. I might be getting the next year. I might, because it seems like the better conversations are over there. But
1,000%, like it's not even close. The pod episodes are trash.
If I'm keeping it real, as a Joe Budden fan, I'm talking about just the Triangle mixtapes. I don't really like him as a person no more. I feel that. I don't want to say that like I know this person, so I don't want to say it in that aspect. Right. But I mean, the persona on the podcast, as much as I have an admiration for Joe Budden, the artist, this new evolution of Joe, for me, is like, yeah, I probably wouldn't hang with this nigga. Like, and that's okay. That's okay. But when it was him, Rory, and Mal, it felt fun. I like the OG shit because I'm an OG, so I do like it. But just this space of podcasting, I feel like everybody carving out. Like outside of $1 Million for Game and Drink Champs,
good too. Yeah.
I ain't really invested in nothing emotionally, honestly. And I feel like the space that we're in right now, because everybody get their turn. It is what it is. Joe and them, what they going on 6-7 years or something, everybody get their turn.
Man. Yeah, man.
I feel like Joe and them on their last legs. I feel like he's trying to get his last little bit of energy out. I feel like podcasting as a whole has become redundant, and everybody trying to
that is a great
fill
word.
The same lanes up.
That is the best word I've heard yet regarding the podcast space. Redundant.
Yeah,
a lot, and that's like a big reason why I took a month off, like took a break for real, because like. So I feel like I'm just saying, like you mention it all the time to me, like, man, y'all mention Kanye a lot, but man, you right, but like it's the news, like he is like it's a constant thing. It's like I get tired of talking about this shit. Like it's like, all right, certain shit I just don't care about. Like for me as a music fan, like you know me, I'm a music snob. I'm saying I talk about music all the time and shit, but when you talk about it on a podcast so often, it's like I really don't care this much. And people look at you like you are being a critic. I'm not really trying to be a critic. I'm just giving my opinion real quick, what I like and what I don't like. I'm not being a critic.
But I'm just saying, I don't like this. I'm glad you brought that up, because when I come back, I might as well just say it now.
And a lot of this shit's taking too serious. A lot of that shit that people say on podcasts, the listener takes it too serious. Like we're not that invested.
At the same time, it feels like the host. I mean, we know it's barbershop. At this point,
that's what it is. Barbershop talk
has become public, but I ain't even gonna lie. I might as well break the news now. When I come back, I'm starting podcast beef with all y'all niggas. Like you, ill-advised wise guys, True North, everybody that got a hip hop podcast, I'm coming. But in respect,
of
though.
Of course. Shout out to the vibe. Shout out to Big Vibe.
Like when I was banging Snoop album last night, right? And I was just enjoying it. Like, cause it's a dope album. It's not even, I wouldn't even call it an album, it's a compilation. It's like a Khaled album. But it's just a really good album. But whether I thought it was or not, I feel like that space, especially, specifically hip-hop podcasting, that space has gotten so analytical And even not just in podcasting, social media. Like I don't even go in barbershops and really hear hip hop conversations the way I see them on social media and in barbershops. And now it's become about everything but enjoying the art to me.
You know what it is, though?
Like we always had a conversation about nerdiness versus whatever. And I just feel like niggas have made it too nerdy. Niggas have made it too.
You know what it also is to me? I feel like with barbershop talk, even back in the day when it was like chat rooms or blogs, whatever, people would having debates, or just when it was on Twitter, like you can kind of walk away from the conversation. Now it's like the shit just, motherfuckers want to talk about this shit every day, nonstop. It's like, all right, I need a break. Like, stop talking about this shit now. Like, we can talk about it for 45 minutes, talk about it for 2 hours, but like after that shit's over with, like it's over with. Like you can walk away now.
Not only that, but people speak from a position of expertise.
Yeah, that's the big problem.
And that's the problem, because it's like none of you niggas never made a hit. None of you niggas never wrote a dope verse. None of you niggas never, and even if you have, you didn't do shit with it. Yeah. So,
but that's why I feel like Drink Champs and $1 Million for Game has become the cream of the crop, because they don't do that.
Yeah,
none of their conversations are about who's the best, who's this, who's that. It's like, hey, give everyone their flowers, let everyone have their platform to speak. You know what I'm saying? And
at the end of the day, all of this shit comes from a place of biased perspective.
100%.
Everybody has
music
their
is
palette.
subjective. Yeah.
Everybody has their palette and what they like. If I like gangster music more than I like quote unquote, and I hate these labels, but if I like quote unquote gangster music more than I like quote unquote conscious music, I'm gonna say Ice Cube is better than Black Star or whatever. But who the fuck am I to say that? Who the fuck are any of us to say that? And then when we get into places of relevancy and numbers, and like it just becomes, it's like watching a board meeting with niggas on a vision board talking about art. That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
It's art, my nigga. Do you enjoy it or not? I don't even think people get to enjoy it anymore because they so busy analyzing that. That's why when I took my little hiatus, I just started listening to music, watching docs, and I wasn't critiquing or thinking about anything. I was just enjoying that shit.
The thing that ruined it all, in my opinion, is the fact that now podcasting is giving us, all its fans, all its, just like lovers of the craft, an opportunity to kind of eat off of that. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody fighting for the hot take.
You know what I'm saying? Like exactly. Like it's like hip hop first take. It's hip hop Skip Bayless. It's like who wants to?
It's like Stephen A. Smith, and he is the most lame person on sports TV to me. Oh, how you know what? I'm not gonna say that because you might have white fans, and I don't want to say certain things about black people in front of white people. But
Skip Bayless.
I feel a way about Stephen A. And I feel like that's what these pods are. It's a lot of Stephen A's looking to critique the Kyries when nigga you ain't never done it. And we say that, I say that on this pod quite a bit.
But I feel like, I don't know, that's tough for me because I feel like in sports it's a little bit different than rap, right? And I'm gonna say that because, and especially in this era right now, like opportunity can get anybody damn near a record deal at this point. The right place, the right time, get your record deal. Right. Stephen A. has no chance of ever being Kyrie Irving.
I mean, understandable, but at the end of the day, it's like, okay, this is the way I've been viewing it lately, right? This is why I almost got choked up watching the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame when they just inducted LL Cool J, because when they showed the scene from when he opened up and they was explaining it from Crush Groove, I remember being 6 years old and that captivating my soul. It wasn't about, oh, is it this, is it that? Like, I remember when we was coming up and we had a critique about new music. It was like, is it dope? Is it not? Is it real hip hop? Is it not? And basically, did it give you that feel? But hip hop has evolved at this point. So there is no such thing as real hip hop or not. But now we're in this space of, we so critical of shit, and it's like, is it dope? Is it authentic, or is it not? Now you have a lot that isn't. Everything's overcrowded. The musicianship is overcrowded. The same way the podcast space is overcrowded. But we spend so much time talking about the shit we don't like, and then we over breaking down the shit that we do like. It's like imagine being imagine if we had these tools in the biblical times, bro. And like Jesus was turning water to wine and shit. And motherfuckers was like, you seen Horace over there on the other side. He did that shit better, my nigga. I mean, this is cool, but like, come on, man. What are we talking about?
I mean, that is like kind of what that shit is, though. Like, you go back to religion, politics, like all that shit, everything's divisive. Everything is divisive. Everything is. It's just, it's damn near human nature, I guess.
And being in music, like a person that's had the blessing to see a lot of legends in concert, that was the thing that made me connect to other things. Like when I went and seen Eminem at fucking Tiger Stadium, to look around and see 80,000 people of all different types of, who probably wouldn't be in the same room together. That music is supposed to be divisive. And I think that's my point.
Yeah.
It's taking the joy out of it for me.
Yeah.
So I don't even want to, like, when I come back, I'll probably delve into hip hop a little bit, but I'm over it. Everybody,
for me, at this point, I've made it for myself, so it's impossible for me to get in these conversations. I only listen to what I listen to. Like, if it's something, I don't listen to nothing else. What I listen to, I probably won't hear anything else that y'all want to hear. Like, I'm listening to what I like, and anything else, I don't care no more. I just don't care to dig and search unless it's catches my ear. Like, I'm not gonna, I really don't go off of recommendations unless it's somebody who I know has a similar, I'm saying, understanding of or appeal to music, like somebody who has a similar craving for music. Like if you give me,
can you stop her from that? Sorry, I can hear my baby and acting crazy.
Okay.
Whatever she wants, give it to her, please.
Uncle Vick / Papa Vick. You know what I'm saying?
This is, and I think that's my the way I'm looking at life, right? Because a lot of the podcasts I listen to are from younger people. Or either that, or they don't have kids. Just like with me and you had that pause conversation, right?
And it's like we had a big debate on the pause thing. Yeah.
And the thing about it is, people usually say to me, "Vic, it isn't that deep, right?" But and it isn't. I don't take any of this shit seriously. But when your kids age and you're managing human behavior all day, you have no choice but to really watch how we interact. You know what I'm saying? You have no choice but to think about the deeper conversation, because there is one to everything. Otherwise, this shit wouldn't exist.
But intent matters.
Yeah, intent. But the thing about intent is, especially in the social media pocket, is
now if I'm a stranger trolling you on Twitter on some pause shit, I understand 100% where you was coming from. But I just literally just said. But joke. You said at
that point, it wasn't about you.
Yeah,
it wasn't about you. See what I'm saying? It's about the entire culture. See, we gotta, for me, we gotta start looking beyond the surface of.
Yeah, but man, you was there in 03 when Cam was saying no homo. You was there.
Yeah, I ain't like it then either. It was weird then.
I mean, but like, I feel you.
I thought it was funny. I thought it was funny,
but to me, like I always say this.
I still play around with it.
I always say this, and maybe it is a false equivalence, but I always look at pause. The way I look at, I'm saying, The Office. That's what she said. Like, it's the same thing. It's just a dumb, immature joke, just because.
I mean, essentially, yes. But the thing about it is, pause is cultural.
Yeah, it is,
and we know where it come from. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's cultural. So,
and no disrespect to the LGBTQ community,
it's a different era. Like, I am completely correct. Say that. I'm still the nigga that say that's gay. I think it's funny. I'm not gonna sit here and I'm not gonna ever be politically correct to the point where I can't have fun.
I use the R word from time to time. I feel bad sometimes when I say it.
I call my kids. I'm not gonna say it, but I tell my kids, like, dog, really. So I'm not saying that we should be so uptight to where we can't have fun with this stuff, because when that happens, you get Chappelle. You get what's happening to him right now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
How you feel about Chappelle right now? What's your take on him right now?
Chappelle's the fucking goat. like I'm mad at he is. I mean, come on, man. This is America.
Yeah. I'm hearing a lot of
proved his point.
Yeah.
He proved his point.
they immediately try to cancel him.
That's it. It didn't even no big breakdown about that. He proved his point. Everything he said, they turned around and did it.
Yep. Immediate.
I don't even have to elaborate on that more.
But what do you feel about people? What do you feel about people who are saying that he's almost leaning into it too much on the whole cancel culture thing? You think he's being redundant in that sense?
I feel like I don't think. I mean, I guess you could say it's a redundancy, but sometimes some of us. That's like saying Martin Luther King was redundant. Somebody got to step up and be the sacrifice. Somebody got to do it.
Yeah.
If he choosing to do it, who can knock that? I mean, I'm sure the opposing side is going to knock it, but for people that stand on the side of what he feels, why knock it? Somebody got to be. Somebody had to be Malcolm X. Somebody had to do it.
Yeah, it's a fact.
This shit getting ridiculous. I'm just gonna say it like it is. It's getting ridiculous. This is somebody who supports that community. One of my children is a part of that community.
Sure.
So I don't, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, these are words. It's like when I was having a discussion about the pause shit, it wasn't about our conversation.
Right.
But
the bigger
all these things deserve a deeper look, because if we just keep surfacing everything, it's like Joe said, if we always joking, do we ever get serious?
That's real.
You know what I mean? That's a part of the problem with social media to me, is that everybody, because now that's why I don't be on it as much, because people just say shit sometimes and I'll be like,
yeah, Twitter can't
what did you want from that?
Twitter can't wait to get the jokes off. Like even like with the recent untimely passing of Young Dolph, like
I was
20 minutes after, it's just the jokes started running. Like, what, we joking about a nigga dying brutally?
See, exactly. And not only that, pay your respect to keep it moving. You got people talking about black youngster, yoga. Like, as soon as I saw that, I said, why would y'all implement these? I mean, yeah, we know they had beef. I didn't say nothing about that shit when he passed. I was just saluting another great loss for hip hop. But it's like, you niggas, what is y'all 1-900 get indicted hotline? You niggas implementing people in murders?
Crazy. It's crazy. But
what world do we live in now?
I also blame that kind of scheme on like people like academics, who had that whole Chirac series he did. Like people really be looking at like these street niggas and their lives who happen to be famous like it's a comic book or some shit, like it's WWE wrestling. This shit ain't wrestling. This is real lives. Niggas is really dying.
I try to respect what ACT does from a business sense, because I'm not gonna knock nobody getting to. I respect his value, but I definitely don't. But that's what I'm saying. But so sometimes we put the bag, because now the bag is like God now. The bag is the idol God now. So
it's crazy.
He getting money, but I still don't respect that shit. Like, I ain't gonna lie. I wish Vic Mensa would have slapped the shit out of him when he had the chance.
And Freddie Gibbs gonna
do it.
Freddie Gibbs gonna do it.
I'm just keeping it real. Like, I don't even know that person, so I don't want to have the type of aggression towards him.
Right.
But me personally, I be feeling like God bless. If I ever get in the predicament to be in the same room with that person, I would have a conversation with him. He a human being. He ain't done nothing to me. But just some of the shit he perpetuate make me want to punch him in his mouth. Honestly.
You be wild.
Like, come on, my nigga. You a man. Be a man. But I understand that the world is full of weirdos on a different level. And we just got to coexist with them. I can't go punch a weirdo nigga in the face. But sometimes it's like, come on, my nigga. You know what you're doing.
100%,
you know what you're doing.
100%. And mentioning some weirdo antics, man. There's been a couple years now on the run, I'm saying, of weirdo antics from Kanye West, right? But now we got Kanye on Drink Champs, and that might have been the most prolific interview he's ever given by far. Like, it's not prolific in the sense like, I mean, it's not prolific in the sense like it was like ingenious conversation, but it's like he was finally given a platform where he can speak and like not be cornered. I'm saying like he was able to like he was able
it's definitely his best interview.
Because like Kanye says shit, and I know me being of course a Kanye fan, I know what he means. I can tell what he means, but he's not saying the right words. I'm saying, and people are going to use those words against him. Like the whole, I hate to use this example because it's so touchy, but when he said people were slaves by choice, right?
Right.
Stupidest shit you could say. But I knew what he was trying to say. He didn't know how the fuck to say it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but
this was definitely his most articulate.
Definitely.
Sitting.
Definitely. Even though he was drinking, he was still able to. I'm saying get his shit.
He was
out.
being himself. It felt like.
Yeah, that too.
I think in that.
But he's also being hella phony though. That's a phony shit to this Big Sean after just seeing that.
That's Kanye phony in a sense like that.
That shit crazy.
Kanye don't want you. To me, that he used backpack. He used the backpackers.
That hurt my heart, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. That when he said that shit, I damn near cried, Joe. I damn near cried like a baby. He's like, no, yeah, don't tell me that shit, bro. Don't tell me you was faking the backpack, bro. You weren't a false flag in the backpack, was you, bro? Oh
man.
That shit hurt my feelings.
I never viewed him like a real backpack rapper. I just didn't.
How? He was look who he put on.
Who?
He put on Talib Kweli. He put on Common.
You feel like he put him on? Talib Kweli was already there.
No, he wasn't. He was on Black Star.
So he was already there. He didn't put him on.
What was Talib's first hit?
Huh?
What's Talib's first hit? Get
His
By?
first single or whatever?
Get By, right? That's Kanye.
Kweli, DJ Kweli and High Tech is before that.
Yeah, but that wasn't Get By.
Nigga, that's a what?
But The Blast is a classic record. Don't get me wrong. The Blast is a classic record. No, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. You're misunderstanding me. The Blast is huge. Everything Common did before B is huge. What B did and it elevated them.
I wouldn't use the term put on, but he definitely put him in a different. That don't make him backpack because he did it.
But I mean,
that's like middleman in the drug deal. That don't make you a drug dealer.
We listen to College Dropout, and you hear Mos Def, you hear Common, you hear Talib, and all these niggas on this album. Rhyme Fest on the pen, like it's a bunch of backpack niggas.
It doesn't make him backpack. That's like middleman a drug deal. I don't make you a drug dealer because you middleman a drug deal.
Do you consider Pharrell backpack?
Huh?
Do you consider Pharrell backpack?
Honestly, no. No, I wouldn't. And I consider
what's backpack to you?
I came up in the hip hop shop, Eminem, Royce, all them. That's backpack to me. Most backpack. I don't feel like Kanye was ever. I feel when he said I use backpackers, I wasn't surprised. I was like, yeah, you did.
I was like, damn, yeah.
I was like, you did. I never believed that the nigga was a. You don't come in with a Louis backpack and say it's like when Drake on Thank Me Later said he was a backpack because you like Dilla. No, you just like Dilla, my nigga.
Drake owes Kanye royalty checks, boy. He stole Kanye whole move. They both just caped on the backpack wave and went mainstream on us. That's crazy. Them two niggas.
But they were already there.
Because let me tell you right now, that first Drake mixtape, not Comeback Season, the one before that, Room for Improvement.
When was the first time you seen Kanye's face? Do you remember?
The first time I saw his face?
Yes.
First time I saw Kanye West's face was probably on one of his mixtapes. The Home Joint. What's the shit called? One of them first mixtapes.
First time I remember seeing his face is in the H to the Izzo video where he jump in and show his tattoo off and
nigga had his Psalm on his arm. Yeah,
he's not a back. I never looked at him or Drake like they was backpack niggas. They not.
I mean, there was an era when Cam was a backpack nigga. In a way, no.
I don't know if Confessions of Fire I would consider. Like when I think of backpack, I think of Souls of Mischief. I think of Royce. I think of Eminem. I think of Slum Village. I think of
Kanye is Slum Village. What do you? Dilla is backpack.
Yes, like I said, Slum Village.
Yeah, I always looked at Kanye in the same light. I looked at Dilla and all them, like in Q-Tip.
Why did you look at him like them?
Q-Tip is a fly nigga, and Q-Tip is backpack.
But Q-Tip and Kanye ain't the same thing. They ain't.
Yeah, I feel you.
They're not the same thing.
But there is
Q-Tip is really Q-Tip. Before we knew Q-Tip was the East Coast Dr. Dre, Q-Tip was you on point fight all the time, dog. You on point, like, come on, bro. Yeah. We don't gotta like. I never looked at Kanye like he was a backpacker. I just didn't.
Is Nas backpack?
I felt like he was a
Is Nas backpack?
In backpack culture, I guess.
Is Nas backpack?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Streets, my architect, please. When I was held, I'm with the 12 for snuff. Like, you know, when I like, that's Nas come from that, but that's to me.
It's a mixture of street.
The backpack niggas are the people who would sit around in ciphers for hours for free.
That was Kanye West. That was Kanye, though.
No, he wasn't.
Kanye was in ciphers.
Kanye West was trying to be the center of it.
Yes.
He was trying. You don't respect me.
I remember being a shorty watching Kanye West battle rap against Mos Def. I remember seeing it.
But that's because Kanye was trying to get respect so he could be the other thing. You could always see it. He was a showman. He was always trying to be the thing he is. That was calculated. And you could tell then.
Hey,
at least I could.
Another thing, I'll tell you this right now. We can get into this and not get into this. I'm not sure I think we had this discussion in the past, but Donda's amazing.
You know what?
I'll just let you know right now.
You know what?
The album is aging like fine wine, bro.
Listening back to, I've been listening to it. Donda is a really good album.
It's a great album right there, dog.
For me, it's
not a hip hop album, but yeah.
I think I analyzed it personally because I just don't want to hear Kanye and that. Like, I really want to hear. Like I've been listening to Kanye a lot this week. I've been listening to Late Registration and Graduation a lot this last week. And for me, as a person, like I just want to hear Kanye West say what he really wanna say. Like whether you rapping well or not, because I don't feel like he's saying what he really wanna say. I feel like he straddling like in Drink Champs, it felt like to some degree he was saying what he really wanted to say. I'd rather heard Drink Champs shit on an album than I would have rather heard it on Drink Champs. For me, I think that Kanye West, you're going through too many things personally on your ascension to this super billionaire status to not be talking about that in your music. But it's a good album. Like I didn't like Certified Lover Boy at first, but that's aging well to me too.
That's aging kind of good. I can't lie. Like it's cool to me. It's still cool to me. Like I don't really like the album as a whole is like but it's a bunch of hits, but they all good songs. Every song is like
that just sounds good. In the right setting. In the right setting, it sounds good.
Hey, that way too sexy in the club. That shit different, boy.
I still don't.
Hey, here in the club, Vic, I promise you, hear that shit in the club.
I'm not a club nigga. I don't want to hear that in the club. I'm sure though.
That shit go off.
I'm sure.
That shit go off.
I've been listening to a lot of. I've been all over the place. I've been on that Terrace Martin heavy.
Yes,
I've been on. Yeah, man.
That shit snuck up on like no, it wasn't promoted for real. Like, why this shit? Where did this come from? It's a whole country version.
I've been on Arsenal, the Big Jersey album. Like I've been on niggas that can rap, and I just been on really good because honestly, this was a great year for music to me. I think that we just kind of everybody keeps saying nothing came out because everybody chases the mainstream thing. I've been on that ransom heavy.
There's no way you can say nothing came out. We had a
lot of shit came out.
On the real, no way you can say if you say that you listen to music for real. If you say that,
T.I. son, Damani, he got a smoker. He got a smoker.
Of course, you know me. I'm heavy on Mick Jenkins right now. Mick Jenkins' album is constant play right now for me.
Something just came out this year?
Yes, sir. Like late last month.
See, I got to get on that. I'm not even hip. See, that's what I like different musical palettes for because that's what. See, I'm a hip hop head at heart, but essentially, I'm a music head, and I think sometimes we live in that music snob lane so much that we forget to enjoy this shit.
Yeah, that's why I say I really don't be hearing too much new stuff. That's something that's on my timeline that I check for, something that someone I'm cool with promotes. Like I think I'm saying when you promote something dope, I'm gonna check it out. Like you said, Snoop album's hard. So I'm gonna check Snoop out tonight.
I go search for it.
I'm gonna check out some tonight.
I'm like a digital crate digger. I like to hear new shit. Like that's how I understand it. I mean, some people just like what they like, and that's cool. But
like Young Thug album's hard. Young Thug album's it's acoustic.
Young Thug album is phenomenal. Yeah, Young Thug album is phenomenal. Boy,
he killed that.
But I'm a person that I grew up on hip hop in its purest forms. So
digging.
The reason that I'm into all the different genres is because hip hop is a culmination of all of those genres. And Black people created all the other genres. So I started liking the other genres because of that. So when I listen to music, I'm all like right now, I'm on Lana Del Rey heavy. I'm
Hey,
on
the Adele album, low key a smoker.
I ain't got to that yet. I've been
Low
on
key
my
a smoker.
oldies. I've been listening to Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes and
Shout out to
the
Teddy
False
P.
and the Silvers, and I've been all over the place. But I like to generation jump. I like to genre jump. And that's what makes hip hop so dope. Because hip hop is it seems to be the only genre that's the melting pot of everything else.
Like
so why would I not explore it to the fullest extent? The young niggas, the old niggas, the middle ground. I like all of it. I don't literally like all of it, but how would I know if I didn't crate it?
Yeah. See, for me, it's a little different for me. Because for me, I really love to live with music. This era is so microwave. There's almost it's hard.
So much of it.
It's hard to like literally live with certain shit. Like I forgot Jim Jones' album dropped this year. I had to go back. Didn't she drop this year? That was last year.
I listened to it the other day. It grew on me a little bit more, but I still don't think it's just because Harry Fraud.
At the top of the year, it was my favorite album. At the top of the year, that was my favorite album.
I didn't think it was that great. I don't think it was that great. It was good, but
to
me, it wasn't the way. That's why you have to go on social media, because you'll hear what social media says, and you'll think everybody feels that way, and everybody don't feel the same way. And I think it's a good album, but it wasn't like the way social media made it seem like it isn't. What's the one before that?
Shit. Are you talking about
El Capo?
El Capo. Yes.
It ain't that.
I'm about to get that.
It ain't that.
For me, I like Jim Jones over that sound, but I get what you're saying, because a lot of those beats I can hear other artists, like I can hear Conway rapping on those, I can hear Bodie on them records. I'm saying easily.
You know what else I just listened to last night? That is like, it's like I heard it and I said, oh yeah, this is gonna be in rotation for a minute. That Apollo Brown and the Stallion.
Yes,
man.
I heard that shit once. I heard it once so far, but man,
that might be top 2 or 3 Stallion projects.
Yeah, I ain't heard Stallion in a minute either. I haven't heard Stallion in a very long time. So it was dope hearing them, especially on Apollo Brown. You know what I'm saying mellow music.
Apollo Brown is like he brings out something in people.
Yeah, man. I love
Detroit,
a lot of producers,
by the way.
Definitely Detroit.
But
Stone's Throw.
Yeah, man. So for me, I don't like when I come back, I got something. Because like I said, when I come back, I'm shaking shit up. Because I don't, the way the world is set up, not even just musically, social, the way the world's set up, it's too much robotic shit going on. Like I don't even want, that's why I fell back from podcasting for a minute. Because I even found myself doing algorithmic shit. Like trying to, that's why the shit went up the way it did. Which is cool. I'll still do it, but I'm going to do it in my own way. I don't want to talk about everything everybody else talking about. I don't even care about a lot of this shit. I got a lot of shit I want to say. And I realized with doing the podcast, the things that I was saying was too important for that small of an audience. So when I do come back, I'm going to just go into the blogger lane a little bit and just individually talk about certain topics. Just to build the audience a little bit, and I'll get back to.
Do you think about you think about smaller videos, like 5-minute joints?
Yeah, I'm thinking about just zeroing in on particular things, but not necessarily like when Dolph died. That shit was tasteless to me to see all these different YouTubers just reporting on somebody who not even cold in the ground yet, and not even really seeming to care about what they're talking about.
Yeah, man.
Just trying to get the clicks. Yeah. That's it. Everybody in that lane right now. And I'm like, with the metaverse thing happening and the way technology seems to be, the trajectory it seems to be going on, this where y'all want to be? Like, we ain't going to have no souls in a minute.
Man. Man, it's seeming that way. It's definitely seeming that way. It's like we just completely just desensitize everything. Like we just desympathize with everything entirely. It's crazy.
And I can't feel that as a human being, as a human. Now, I'm not against things evolving because one, and you know me, bro. You know, upon us meeting, I was like the Clayton Bixby of ages. So So I'm looking back at it now, and maybe this is a me being in my 40th year and just putting things into perspective after having the COVID and all of this. And I'm like, man, this shit ain't no different. They just have different mediums of it. That's why I said, like when Tupac and Biggie and all that shit was happening, that's why I had to give these young dudes, like I had to stop giving them so much flack. Because I remember when the East Coast, West Coast shit was happening, I was in Detroit, and depending on who somebody liked, niggas was picking sides.
Yeah. 100%.
And I was a person who just loved them both, so I didn't care to do that personally, but I remember my niggas picking sides. It's no different. Now, everybody just has a platform to be able to display their opinion. So I can't look at these young dudes and be like, oh, you stupid, you this, you that. We was stupid too.
Yeah.
We were stupid too.
I talk about it all the time as far as me, like, for me, it wasn't Biggie and Pac because I was younger at the time, but for me, it was Nas and Hov. Like, I was a Hov fan when I was a shorty about Dynasty, but Blueprint, I listened to Blueprint, just Nas. I didn't hear Black Album until 2006. And you know how much I love hip hop. You know what I'm saying? I really wasn't a Hov fan until I got to high school for real. Like, oh,
that's
shit, Hov is amazing. Yeah.
That's why I be trying to get you to open up more but I know that happens with evolution. I know that happens with, like, what are you, 30? You going on 31 next year, correct?
Be 32 next year.
32. And it's like, nigga, I was just 32 7 years ago. And me looking back at me 7 years ago, I'm like, nigga, you were an idiot. Like,
exactly.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
And like for me, I catch myself in moments like, damn, that's a dumb, like, for instance, remember back 2 years ago, we had the debates all the time about my list. I look back at the idea of me having a top 50 rappers, like, that's stupid. A top 50 rappers list? Why would you, how could you rank 50 rappers?
It changes too much.
It's impossible. Like, I look at that shit today, like, how the fuck could you possibly say this person is better? I can't tell you J. Cole better than Coogee Rap. How can I say that? Like, how could you say that?
I was thinking about what I want to do for my end of the year special, and I don't know because now, see, like,
we should do it together, like Charlamagne and Button used to do. We should do it together, bro.
I'm with it. But album of the year, me and my friends was doing album of the year conversations in the 90s when CDs was dropping, and it was always opinionated and subjective, and that's just something that we did amongst each other. When it became a national thing and every platform started doing it, it was like, oh no, y'all really serious about it. Like, it ain't that serious because, especially in this era where it's too much music dropping. I didn't listen to Big Drake on album. How the fuck can I say that's not album of the year?
You know what I'm
I listen to that. Like, I'm not gonna listen to everything.
It's impossible. Like, ski masks, what these niggas are like.
And nothing's wrong with discussion. It's only when it becomes definitive.
Like, for me, it's like the Grammys can never be right. The Grammys can never be right now. Like, it's impossible.
That's the reason we used to have the conversation, because we used to watch Soul Train Awards when the award shows was great. Yep. 90s and 2000s, yes, great. Soul Trains, BETs, Grammys, American Music Awards. We used to watch these shits like the house stopped for these. Even your parents watched them.
Them early BET Awards of Monique, those were classic, brother. Monique.
Yeah, and the thing about it was we would watch them and they would be the 4 or 5 people in the category, and we would all be sitting in the house going, why ain't this person nominated? Why ain't that person nominated? Yep. Oh, they shouldn't have won. They won. So it's like, it's all in a place of subjectivity, and now it's becoming like no regular Joes could make this list like us right now, and the big people will respond to us.
No.
They'll respond to us behind it. These things are being taken too serious.
Yeah.
And the conversation is too serious because niggas are legit arguing. Niggas on Instagram live, fuck you, nigga. It ain't that.
Especially when you think about, especially when you just take the fan shit out of it and realize a lot of them award shows now, especially now, are politics. Motherfuckers pay to get these certain slots. Like,
man, what?
Like, it's like,
and it's probably always been there. But
yeah,
the thing about social media, like,
it's more obvious now.
It's made the world so much smaller, bro.
Yeah, it really is.
Even when I look at the timeline, and watch people talk, I'm like, y'all all have the same slang now. Like,
fact, ain't no Chicago slang, ain't no New York slang, ain't no Detroit slang.
Ain't no Detroit, like slapping was a fucking Detroit slang. You was saying slapping in the early 90s, not everybody said, and I'm like, it doesn't even matter.
Like I remember when tweaking was. I feel like tweaking was just a Chicago thing. I don't know when tweaking became like everyone say tweaking or like thought or like all these shits like this or capping. Capping was just
capping. We've been saying capping since I was 8-9 years old. I'm 40.
I'm saying like what?
Like what? It's nuts to me, and that's what I mean. I don't want to. I'm trying to tell my kids, and like I said, that's the thing that kind of changes you as a person. Because I got my two oldest daughters are 13 and 12. So when I'm watching them have conversations, I try to preserve their individuality, but it's so hard to do in an era where being individualistic is not accepted.
Real talk.
They don't want to have any individualism. They don't. The thing is about like, yeah, and I came up in the era where Biden was Biden. Niggas got punched in their mouth over Biden when I came up. That's serious.
Facts.
So now that's why I enjoy hearing artists, because I don't mind a lot of these younger dudes trying to sound like each other as long as you can differentiate one from the other. I don't mind it. But it's like when that's the entry level, you have to be this. Nah. That shit ain't what's up. It's not what's up to be a robot. I don't give a fuck if we go into the metaverse and do all of this. Like I said, because eventually we're gonna go from robots to zombies. It's already real robots out here. It's real it's real androids out here. And we are gonna be the zombies in a minute because them motherfuckers ain't trying to be like each other. Them robots gonna be like, yeah.
And some of these motherfuckers some of these motherfuckers are already zombies because of these drugs. Like
what?
Like the fentanyl and shit, like it's definitely just too much on this generation at one time, man.
I was at work last night talking to some young dudes because I'm in this new field, I'm in this new job or whatever. And the young dudes asked me how old I was. They couldn't have been no older than 22, 23. When I told them how old I was, they could not believe it. They said, "You must ain't never drank." I drank you young niggas under a table. But you niggas are so, they couldn't believe that I looked almost as young as they did.
Yeah. The motherfuckers done live life already. The motherfuckers been through it all.
And I'm like, I used to be in the streets. You niggas ain't never even did nothing yet.
Yeah,
like, but y'all doing too much at the same time.
Too much.
And that's scary.
Too much, man.
That's scary, bro.
This shit's definitely crazy. It's just crazy out here. And honestly, it's crazy because like we know each other, what, 3 years now? I was 28 when we first, started kicking it, whatever, through the Facebooks and whatever, and through Twitter, whatever. But like in that time, like especially interacting with you, I look back like, damn, man, I feel old now at times. Like just thinking about certain shit. Like,
don't feel old yet, man. You ain't.
No, I'm gonna tell you what made me feel old, right? And it's mostly because of the generation that's coming up after me. It's like, damn, y'all niggas look weird.
Y'all grow you up fast.
Y'all grow
you up fast.
Like, it's crazy. And like, and seeing like Kendrick Lamar perform is like,
man, make you feel like a vet.
I'm like, yo, Kendrick Lamar is like in this game 10 years now. It's like watching. It's like I feel like it's like for you guys watching Hove at Madison Square Garden.
I was
like,
gonna say, imagine how I feel.
You know what I'm saying?
Imagine how I feel that Jadakiss is just now getting the respect. Because when he said top 5 dead or alive 10 years ago, they didn't want to respect that. Now,
10 years. He was actually for 20 years.
You know what I'm saying? But when he named it, like the album, now, look at this. Like, imagine, I feel like a grandpa in this shit, bro.
And hey, yo, you know who my favorite rapper at the moment is? I'm gonna say it. Jadakiss went on that record with Freddie and killed Freddie.
I ain't heard it yet.
He ain't. I don't want to say kill, but Jadakiss outperformed Freddie on.
But that's Black Kiss though. Kiss is more seasoned. Like,
Jadakiss, that motherfucker sounded like he was 9'6", boy. Jadakiss, that motherfucker sounded crazy.
I've been trying to tell niggas they gonna respect Kiss, man. And Styles P time coming too. You can see it's coming.
Styles. My issue with Styles right now is Styles almost putting out too much music. Styles putting out an album a week, boy. It's hard to
with Styles in this album. Era, you kind of have to.
Yeah, you do. You to eat. Yeah.
You kind of have to.
For sure.
I see what Tidal's doing with the new streaming thing. That's a good thing. Maybe it'll slow down. But
man, paying artists directly, that's pretty dope. That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
That's pretty dope, man.
That's what discouraged me from rapping. I know if I really wanted to write, I'd have bodied a lot of these niggas a long time ago. But it didn't seem lucrative, and it still doesn't, honestly. And now, if you get some money, they might kill you.
It's crazy as it sounds.
It's scary.
Yeah,
it's a scary world we live in, man.
It's crazy as it sounds. They killing for nothing. They kill for nothing, man. And yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
I got a question for you. Like when the boys getting back together, man. I like to see y'all. You KC Smoother.
I was coming soon, man. Yeah. Yogi, we want to get back in together, man, very soon, man. Definitely before November's over, we'll be back together. I'm saying, doing something, man. I want to get at least 4 episodes with them before the year's over with. I'm saying, get the gear back in shape. I'm saying, get things going back rolling. Because I definitely want to get these niggas. I gotta make fun of Smoother about a bunch of shit. Smoother been wilding.
I wanted to. Yogi pissed me off when y'all was talking about raising Canaan. And because you niggas just wanted Tommy and Ghost to come in season 1. It's like the show gonna be over if they come right in.
Yeah, but it's like, I don't know. Like Kanan, it was a cool first season. It was just like, it was a lot of stupid shit in that show. A lot of like, I hate the uncle.
Not for character development at all. Y'all got to let.
Yeah.
But I did see something where 50 said he's gonna he planning to bring Ghost and Tommy in season 3.
Jeez.
Because I mean, think about it. He's trying to create a drug dealer universe. He can't just give you all the shit in one season.
That's true. And like I love what he did. BMF, he did BMF perfectly. It was flawless. BMF was. I ain't seen the finale yet, Vic. So chill out.
I haven't either. But me being here, me being from Detroit, and actually being old enough.
Oh yeah, we got to talk about BMF with Judy, of course. Yeah,
to be Detroit. In that era. Like I actually got some personal ties to it, but I'm not gonna talk about that shit on no camera. But like my family and yeah. Anyway,
sure. You know what I'm saying?
But first and foremost, I don't know who the consultants are for this show.
I think Nikki's working on it. I feel like the sister working on it. Meet sister.
Okay, that would make sense. But I mean, I feel like he probably got Calico and all them dudes down. Because I mean, for them to get like they always do these things on the city, and none of them have ever been accurate. None of them have ever been. I'm talking about any type of show where they try to capture our essence. It has never been accurate. And this, from episode 1, is certain little things in this show happening that the rest of the world won't understand that we see, and it's like, oh, they got that.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
The better made tips, the dancing, the Coney Island, the accent. Lamar, I don't know who he was talking to, because the fact that he's not even from America, he has, the Detroiters have it's just like y'all, we have a distinctive accent.
Yeah.
A Detroit accent is extremely hard to capture.
Yeah.
So the fact that he seems to have the most accurate accent on the show.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you right now, I always respect Detroit niggas who say y'all saying I don't want no smoke with Detroit niggas. But now that I know there's niggas out there from Detroit like Lamar, I'll leave y'all alone forever. I don't want no problem. That's a crazy ass nigga right there.
He's still alive too, right?
I heard, bro.
Like I think I haven't watched the finale yet, but just me knowing the story, I have an idea of what the finale is gonna be, but I don't, I think I got an idea of what it's gonna be.
Word,
but because I think next season they're gonna be in Atlanta. I think they're gonna go, I think after this, they're going to the 90s. Because it's just based on what I know about what happened.
For sure.
And yeah, that's regular as hell. But that
nigga Lamar different,
right?
Boy.
Detroit and Chicago is the same city, but like you see, we're the number 1 worst city in the country again. But that's so I feel like we go back and forth with that so much that like all the times that because we cousin cities. Yeah. So all the times that I've been in Chicago, I've always felt like, because the way national news portray y'all, they portray y'all like Mad Max, this lawless ass city. And Chicago not like that
at all.
There's some hoods where
there's a few blocks.
It's Iraq. There's some hoods where it's like, oh, it's going down. Right. But there are really nice parts of the city. You can go to Chicago, have a good time, and nothing will happen.
You can walk through the South Side in nice peace. I'm saying,
exactly. Now,
West Side.
that's why I feel like because y'all are bigger. I look at I look at every region of the country like this. Every region has the heart, the soul, the lung, yada yada. Yeah. And I feel like Chicago is the heart of the Midwest because y'all when we come to when we think Midwest as a whole country, Chicago is the first thing to come to mind. I mean, the first Black president of the country comes from where? Yeah. You dig what I'm saying? And Detroit is the soul of the Midwest. 100%. And then you got, the others, the Clevelands, the Louisvilles, the St. Louis's, because I ain't discrediting nobody. I feel like all of us, we're like a Voltron. You know what I'm saying? 100%. But I feel like when you think of the Midwest, and I can do that for every other region. Yeah. But when I think about Chicago and the national coverage y'all got, because y'all have a gang issue, it's like, okay, that's the reason why I talk about them that way. But every time they was talking about y'all was the worst shit ever, I was sitting at home going, but we worse than them. And not saying it to brag, but it's like, why is nobody talking about all this shit that's going on here? Yeah. All they talking about us is us being bankrupt, the automotive industry, but they ain't talking about us dropping 7, 8, 9 fucking bodies a day. In this in this city that y'all double the size of us. This is happening all over. You go in the suburbs, get killed in Detroit. That's not fucking normal. And that's the part that be, you know what I'm saying? So when I see shit like Lamar, like none of that shit surprised me. Even though I know the story, watching it. The reason I'm watching the way Detroit is the only city where I've been in where you can blatantly break the law all day and not worry about anything happening. Spoiler alert, the way that man stabbed that little boy in broad daylight, I was like, oh shit, this nigga different. See, y'all run. That just felt normal to me. And no, but if you watch it again, right? Just watch the people who approached the little boy on the ground. Hey, they're like, oh damn. They ain't screaming, they just shaking their head like, damn. I'm like, Detroit different. Them boys like it's a regular. The first time I seen them get murdered, I was 14, 13. Like that's normal. That's deep, boy. That's deep. But that's what I'm saying. Like, and I think I told this story on the podcast because I was walking home from somewhere and the nigga wasn't even dead yet, but I knew to get the fuck off the block and go around the other corner in case whoever just shot him was coming back around to get whoever was. And that's some shit that I didn't even understand. I was traumatized about till I was like 30. Like, oh man, that's not normal. But I had to literally move out the state and be nowhere near a hood to start. To realize that. Yeah. And Chicago and Detroit, that's why I hated all those times Detroit and Chicago had beef because essentially we're the same city. We just talk pretty much the exact same city, man. Pretty much. That's why I enjoy same it. Atmosphere. That's why Good in the Hood one of my favorites because I watch. Y'all remind me of me and my circle. Like y'all remind me of me and my circle of dudes. Just talking about music, talking the shit, which is why I don't want hip hop podcasting to go away. I just want the hip hop podcasters and bloggers to be more mindful of what they saying because artists are sensitive about their shit. This is an art form. And when I listen to music, I'm listening to music not necessarily as the person that created it, but trying to hear it for what the person was going for. Instead of going, I don't like this. Instead of going, I don't like this. I don't like that. I don't like, okay, so the fuck what? Was it dope? Was it not? That's it, yeah. But I feel like for me, right, I've been trying to get away from calling shit trash or saying shit's not dope. And just say I don't like it because if you say something's not good, it just causes another uproar. Like I just don't like it. Exactly. Not for me. But I know at the same time it does feel like it feels like I'm saying like cheap to say it's not for me. It does feel cheap saying that shit. But it does. We have to find a different way to. Because I don't know. You know, when I say something, I done bashed your boy Big Sean a million times. And I be getting flat. Yeah. When Kanye was talking in an interview, I was sitting there like, what is Juice thinking right now? Yo, hey, I was like, because when he did the ass shit, I was cracking the fuck up. That pissed me off because you signed off on that was sucker shit to me. I was thinking a lot of what Kanye said. He said a lot of ingenious shit. Not even that, but Kanye shit in that interview. Not even that, but he also did sucker shit too. Kanye made the workout plan. You can't diss ass when you made the new workout plan. Nigga, what? He made Gold Digger. Kanye got so many trash hits. Not trash, so many gimmicky hits. Yeah,
you can't,
they,
you can't say that shit.
Nigga, stop it. But see, I think
that nigga said if he dies, gonna say what I
think that's the problem, right? We've all gotten so defensive, so offensive. Like when Young Dolph died, one of these pages I follow was like, y'all will share a rest in peace post for somebody that you don't know, but you won't share your friend's business. And it's like, why correlate the two, right?
I went
on there because at the end of the day, a young black man was murdered. Whatever you are on this page, you want to be a person that leaves a mark on the world. So you don't want nobody to say rest in peace for you if you do so because they didn't share their friend's business. What? And I said, maybe there's a reason why. Everything isn't for everybody. All my friends don't watch my podcast. I don't take that personal. Everything isn't for everybody.
Exactly. That's crazy.
We gotta stop. We gotta stop with this instant gratification bullshit that we think we so entitled with how everything should be a certain way.
Exactly. And no one's obligated to support your ass.
And
no one's obligated.
I commented on the post and I said, how about you focus on the people who actually do share the business as opposed to people who don't? And everybody on there and attack me. And I'm like, crazy. You know what? That's why I don't usually comment on shit.
It's the same shit every year when Beyonce's birthday come. Oh, y'all want to have birthday to Beyonce, but don't say
what?
Like so they like Beyonce. The fuck is wrong with that?
What's wrong with being everybody influenced by somebody? Anybody who wants to be great was influenced or has an admiration for somebody who else was great first. In order to be a great leader, you have to be a great follower first. So, and we live in an era of followers. How can you want followers and then chastise somebody else for following somebody else because your shit ain't popping?
Especially when you make a whole post to get attention about this. Your whole goal of your post is to get the attention. Like,
I don't understand this shit no more, bro. And everything ain't meant for me to be understood at my age. Yeah. It is what it is. But
it's just crazy.
That's why if I really want to see good in the hood when y'all come back with the boys, I would like to see y'all delve into more shit. Like, I want to get to know, because you do a good job, bro, of being mysterious, which in this era is hard to do. And you should maintain a level of privacy to yourself. But in the same breath,
I just really hate social media now.
The way y'all talk about music, I would love to hear what y'all think about other shit. Like, you so mysterious, like, y'all niggas, what? Kaylin got kids. Like, who is Miss Juice? Who is Miss Kaylin? Yeah. Like, these things happen. And I ain't saying that you
for sure.
Who it is, but
for sure.
There are topics that I think y'all core audience would be interested in. Like, just to hear like, who y'all are as men.
We definitely want to have more relationship talk, more real life talk. Like, music and sports ain't just it. Like, especially like
it's too redundant.
I was about to say, going back to the words you used earlier, redundant. That redundancy definitely plays a part of it. Because there's only so many hip hop topics. Only so many times you say who's better between Kanye and Drake. Only so many times you can do that shit. Only so many times. But hey, real quick though, if they do that concert for real, I hope it's a versus.
I just saw a post last night, December 9th.
I hope it's a versus.
That's not gonna happen.
I hope it's a versus.
It's not gonna happen because then that'll start more divisive speech, and if it's about friend Larry Hoover, that's not gonna happen.
That's true.
I would like for it to be a verse because that's the one that needs to happen.
That's the one.
that's the one. I don't think there's anyone, because even though people want Jay-Z and Nas, not to say one will be more one-sided,
I love Nas.
I feel like this
Nas.
Is the one. This is the one that. Hey man, I don't even know what side to lean on.
Well, you know I'm going with, but yeah, it's tough. It's definitely tough.
Yeah, you have to. Just like which one was I? It was like Bone Thugs, this is Mafia.
Yes. See, this is where real quick before you dive in it, you're gonna dive into it. This is where Vic's expertise comes in here, because for me, like I said, I'm like 8 years younger than Vic, 9 years younger than Vic. I remember Bone Thugs.
The LL on camera and shit.
I remember Bone Thugs. I'm saying Bone Thugs was important in my upbringing. 3-6, I was very limited to my I'm saying hearing them as a kid. I heard
Man.
Sipping on Some Scissor, a few records, I'm saying, but not.
See, that's when they got mainstream.
Yeah,
like,
I wasn't saying.
That's their first mainstream hit.
What year is that record, you think? About 04, 02?
Sipping on Scissor is like 1.
I'm 11. Like I'm 11 right there. I'm saying, so I missed.
Yeah, that's like 01, 02. But like, no, there was a time where those niggas was about to, where they were trying to ban them. Because just like what happened in Astro World with Travis Scott, they were doing that in clubs. They were coming, I bet you won't hit a motherfucker, hit him. And the crowd is doing that gangster walk shit going. They were the first one. Like, all of these young dudes, honestly, they think she's mafia babies. Which is why I think that I think culturally, 3-6 will probably win that battle in the aesthetic of it, honestly.
Well, look at it on paper, just from a novice perspective, Bone Thugs has a strong 8 that nobody can touch. But
oh yeah, see, me, I'm Midwest, so and I live in Ohio right now, I'm throwing Bone Thugs I'm rapping for the set.
After that 8 though, it's a big drop off. I feel like for Bone Thugs.
See, I don't feel like that because Bone got iconic features. Bone got like what's the shit with Chamillionaire Riding Dirty? Riding Dirty, Notorious Thugs, Thug Love, Thuggish Ruggish Bone, First of the Month, For the Love of Money.
Weed song.
I was just gonna say they got some weed songs. Friday, the Busy Bone joint on Friday. I can't. It's a lot of like they got shit.
East 99 Eternal. I'm saying East 99.
Speech Again, Swiss Beats Biggie. Like even though that Notorious Thugs over, that's still going. Both of them still gonna rock.
The shit with Phil Collins Home.
Yeah, like Bone got a solid ass catalog, but I think 3-6 Mafia, their effect on culture is just more iconic. I didn't even say Crossroads. And
they do it the same way Lox and Dipset did it, performance is going to matter a lot as well. And Juicy J,
Crazy Bone got solo shit. Crazy Bone and Ice Cube. Crazy Bone, Ice Cube is gonna go off. Crazy Bone and Lil Jon, we don't give a fuck, gonna go off.
Juicy J though. You talk about Juicy J though. Juicy J.
I want to say Mafia on that song with Lil Jon and Crazy Bone.
When they put on that hustler flow, it's like hard out here for a pimp. Oh man,
that's gonna rock.
Oh
like man. I said, 3-6 has the more riding spinners, fucking tear the club up.
What's the Juicy J big hit? He had, what's the Juicy J strip club hit of recent?
Bands that make them dance.
Bands that make them dance.
Like 3-6 is more relevant in the last 20 years than Bone is, which is gonna be. But I feel like this battle. I feel like that's what I'm saying. Aesthetically, I feel like this is gonna win because all the people your age and younger are gonna identify with. But I feel like, and this is me. Okay, here go the ages coming out. I feel like if you niggas went around in the 90s, y'all can't even really judge this battle.
I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. I didn't say much on the KRS One Rock Kim. I just sat there and enjoyed this event. I can't.
Me neither. Because even though I knew most of it, it was still some shit where I'm like, I can't size these records up. I have to enjoy them. I can't because I wasn't outside when these records hit. So I can't say which one is cultural. I know what they mean to me personally. But I don't know. I was fucking 6 or 7 when these records dropped. So I can only speak to what they meant to me. So I just enjoyed the show. I would have to go ask my cousins 10 years older than me, yo, who you feel won and why? I would have to ask them that. And that's the only thing I have. That's why I'm starting podcast beat. Because I feel like a lot of these niggas too young to be talking about the shit they be talking about the way they talk about it. Not saying not to talk about it. It's the way you do it. Nigga, you wasn't there. You can't even speak this language.
Yeah,
what are you talking about?
100%.
If Hulu didn't have Wu-Tang, a lot of you niggas wouldn't know nothing. About?
Yeah,
I can tell you.
And the crazy part is that shit is evident as fuck, bro. On Twitter, people react to the show like, "Them y'all niggas don't know about Wu-Tang for real? No one knew about Wu-Tang. Like Wu-Tang is a new thing to y'all."
That was the first time when I was like, you know what? I have to understand that
shit blew
they
my mind.
aren't supposed to know. You aren't supposed. That would be like me being born in '82, even though Woodstock is in like '70 some shit. Me to be like, that would be like me. Yeah, I knew certain songs because my parents played them from fucking Gap Band and Marvin Gaye and all this shit. But even now, if they was to, even with like Earth, Wind, and Fire and Isley Brothers verses, I just have to enjoy that because I wasn't even thought of. I just like what I like, which is fun, but nah, man, that's the problem with, I think, this music podcasting realm is we speak too much in an expert way about some shit that we wasn't out. I'm not gonna ever talk about. I can only speak to what LL Ron and the Beastie Boys meant to me as a 6-year-old. I can't speak to that like I was at the fucking Roxy. I can't speak to that like that. It's disrespectful.
Real shit.
It's disrespectful to that culture that you wouldn't have. There would be no blog era. There would be no streaming era. There would be none of that shit without them people. You don't do that to the forefathers.
Yeah, it's definitely a certain language that podcasters use that is disrespectful. Like certain language, certain fall off, like certain things like relevant. Like the word relevant is so disrespectful.
That's what I was telling you.
So
see it now.
But
it's
like
disrespectful.
But like for instance, right? Because I used to always use the word irrelevant with Eminem, right? And that was always the wrong word. Eminem is forever relevant because Eminem is Eminem. So like the word to use is probably not active or not. I'm saying not. I'm saying that's the term relevant. He's always relevant. It's one of the 20, 30.
You can't put out 3 classics and say nigga ain't relevant, man.
Yeah.
Back to back to back. Like you can't do that.
Yeah.
That's disrespectful.
Yeah, but I feel like what, like for instance, right, Eminem, like even with Jay-Z, I don't feel like in 2022 we're looking for new albums for them, but like they're legends. So it's like no matter what they do, M can drop tomorrow, he can get 300,000. I'm saying copies. No matter what happens, 300,000 is coming his way. You know what I'm saying, and that makes you relevant. Period.
And Kendrick and Drake and all of those guys. It's just like that would be like after Heavy D stopped dancing, niggas say he not relevant even though he producing for the biggest artist in the game. That's crazy. Rest in peace, Heavy D. But you see what I'm saying?
Forever. Yeah.
And that's the point. And I want that to change because if we continue to do this, we're gonna kill our own culture.
Yeah, especially now in hip hop. We've seen hip hop. You mentioned Jadakiss earlier. Hip hop is now the lifespan has increased vastly. Like it used to be, once you hit 35, you wouldn't hear from rappers no more. Like rappers just
thank God for verses, man.
Yeah, man. And
even if people not watching it, everybody not excited about it no more. You don't have to be excited when it first drops.
Versus and just like champs, man. Those two platforms are keeping.
I'm so glad those things exist because we have to preserve this culture. Like I tell my kids always tell me, I don't necessarily like. I got an older daughter who's a little bit. My oldest daughter is more. She delves into some of it, but it's not really her thing. My second oldest is like, I don't like y'all shit. And I keep telling her, you don't have to like it. Just understand where it comes from. Because when I was 12, I didn't like the Commodores.
Exactly. Really. I just want to say that. My pops
not
play,
really. But when I was 22,
exactly.
When I was 22, it was hitting me different.
My pops used to play Gil Scott Heron.
If I never knew where it came from, I wouldn't have been able to go back and revisit it.
When I was a kid, my pops played Gil Scott Heron and Roy Ayers all the time. I was like, man, why are we listening to this right now? Just put on Ludacris. I'm saying whatever I was listening to as a kid, right? Yeah. Now as an adult, those are two of my favorite artists of all time. Roy Ayers and Gil Scott Heron can get played over any of these rappers today, every day of the week.
My daughter Skylar fights me back the most on it. And it's like, I don't need you to like it. I just need you to understand that one day you're going to have children. I need you to, and
this is a party
of dad. As much as I love Eminem, as much as I love my city and I love Eminem, I don't want my grandkids thinking he invented hip hop. He's the biggest thing on the. I don't want that. I don't want them thinking that a white boy invented this thing. Because to me, hip hop.
That's an interesting question I got for you. I got an interesting question for you.
Oh, let me finish this point first before I say it. Hip hop is the only true black-made American thing.
True.
What else did we built the entire country, but what else did we start from scratch here that was, even though somebody else owned it, it's truly ours?
I could say Motown. Probably the first.
But with all the genres of music, we brought music over here.
Yeah.
But
hip hop is like us.
Hip hop is the only thing they can't really take from us. You can't look at. You can't. All those other genres of music, you kind of look at them and
even though you definitely had the Harlem Oates try to steal our shit.
You see what I'm saying? Even though Eminem may be the biggest selling artist in hip hop, nobody looks at hip hop and think Eminem.
Never.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's fair.
What were you saying, bro?
Mentioning Eminem as a Detroit native, as a hip hop head, and as a father, we just had this conversation regarding like pause and shit. Like, would you play your daughters? I'm saying your kids like old Eminem shit, like Kill You and Criminal and it was Kim.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't, but I'm a bit twisted as a father. I mean,
I'm gonna be at 12 years old hearing Kim like, yo, what's wrong with this dude, bro?
I watch Chucky with my kids, bro. So
nigga, Kim as a child, bro. That was a crazy song to hear as a child. Was Kim.
I mean, we ain't here listening to Big Lotto.
I don't listen to Big Lotto. That's out my realm. You a father, so you hear Big Lotto. You're a father. So you hear
Big Lotto. No, I was listening to it before she was on Jermaine Dupri's show, but don't get it fucked up. She twerked. She actually she rapped for real. Like she can rap.
It's tough for me to indulge, man. It's tough being indulged.
But see, that's looking at it from the mainstream. When you look
at
the things they're set.
It's not. It just
you're looking at it from the things they're selling. They're
not even. Like when I listen to who album I just heard is one of them artists. Not Coil Ray. It's the Doja Cat girl, right? I listen to the Doja Cat album mixtape. Like, this is what I ever listen to now. I tried, bro.
But see, Doja's popping. No,
I gave it a shot.
Lotto can rap. She got bars. So when she twerking, this is what rap has been since Slick Rick. The singles are always gonna be I gotta sell this shit. You come to the album for the other shit.
Yeah.
That's why I've never been a person who listens to the radio. I don't really particularly. That's why I don't listen to singles. I listen to albums.
You don't listen to singles no more.
I listen to singles. Only time I was a singles person is when MTV Raps and Rap City was a thing, because that's when you was watching videos on TV. But I don't listen. I was at home and some shit came on the radio and I was like, I haven't actually heard the radio in 25 years.
Do you think it's possible in 2021, 2022, for a Hulu or Netflix or any of these platforms to produce a show like Rap City or like One Sisters Apart?
I think it's coming.
You think so?
I think it's coming. I think it's coming. Especially, I see they're trying to reboot Rap City The Basement on.
Oh, yeah?
I seen talks about it. I see Big Ticker got a show on Revolt where it's Rap City-esque. And I don't watch it a lot, but I've seen little remnants of it, but I wouldn't be surprised. Music is too lucrative of a space, and streaming, everything is digital at this point. So they're going to have to do something. They want to keep making money off these black people's backs, so why not?
Yeah, man, I hope Revolt in an idealistic world, man, I hope Revolt and Tidal can find a way to get, hip-hop and hip-hop podcasts.
Get the ownership back.
Get all this shit on the same page, man. When I look at the Joe Budden podcast, look at the Drink Champs, I look at Charlamagne, all these shits, these motherfuckers should be collaborating. Why are we all so divisive and split?
And you know what I think about when I see that, right? Just like when I'm watching these shows like BMF and shit. And like I said, my leniency comes, I'm of that culture just in my family tree, right? And I'm old enough. We were actually talking about this at work last night. I'm old enough to actually have seen the crack era and can remember it. Like I'm talking about not the 90s when there was, because to me the 90s is the crack baby era. I mean the actual when everybody black was getting money.
Niggas with the Jerry curls and on the corner.
Yeah, like my OG had a Jerry curl and gold chains and gold and 4-finger rings and leather
Cartier
boots.
shades.
I can remember seeing my mom, like when I watched Raising Kanan, his mom reminds me, it's like looking at my own mother from that time. So that's why it hit me a certain way, because I could actually like it. I was 10 in 92. So throughout the 80s, I seen the 80s.
Yeah, you seen the 80s.
And when I look back at a lot of these shows and a lot of these different, just specifically me being from Detroit, I look at the Chambers Brothers, White Boy Rick, YBI, Best Friend, et cetera, just these cliques. And I'm like, all of these millions that were made in this time for these young black boys, and we were too busy warring with each other when, just like them Colombians built Miami, we could have built an economy if we wasn't fighting each other. So when I look at the streaming services and all of this power, that's why I hope the Diddy's and the Jay-Z's and the Dre's and we need to take this culture back, because right now we have enough people in power where we can do that.
Oh shit.
And if we want to preserve this culture, we gotta own it. This is it. Otherwise, motherfuckers gonna be thinking fucking G-Eazy invented hip hop. like, I don't want
I heard the name in a long time. I've heard the name in a while.
Actually, hey, G-Eazy's album is dope.
Hey, niggas is still trying to give me a listen to Russ, and thank God. Hey, Vic, I know you hate me saying this, but somehow he's still yet to hear a Russ song for real. I'm going strong, bro. I'm going strong.
You haven't heard Chump?
I'm cool. I'm okay.
I almost called you stupid on camera. You were nuts.
Hey man, I'm sorry, stupid. Bro.
You didn't hear the Chump EP with him, like him rapping?
Listen, a big part of music, especially in 2020, in this era for me, is the packaging of it. The way you sell the music, all that shit matters.
Cool. This is what I mean. This is what I mean about the new age.
I don't feel like I'm missing anything. I'm not missing anything though. Like no. if you're not,
but how can you say you? That's like being a virgin and saying I don't feel like I'm missing no pussy. You don't know.
But I'm getting pussy elsewhere. I'm still getting pussy. Not getting that pussy.
I said that's like being a virgin. But I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm getting that pussy. I'm cool. I'm getting.
The thing about it is like, but see, that's y'all era. Y'all come from the blog. Y'all spoiled, bro.
No, it's your era too.
That's the problem.
It's your era too, bro.
It's your era too.
It's your era
too. Spoiled because
it's your era too, though.
Y'all came up in the Napster era. Y'all came up in the internet era.
Vic, it's
where
your
y'all
era
got to pick and choose and get all the music for free. So
Vic, it's your era too, though. The East and West was a thing. Y'all would not. Those niggas in New York would not listen to any Snoop Dogg music.
But I'm before that.
But I'm saying that era, it's always been there. People listen. Like people just. I don't.
No,
Russ to me, nothing.
You get the backstory of it, because if that's the case, Ice Cube's first solo album wouldn't be with Hank Shockey. See what I'm saying?
But also, like,
now initially they didn't listen, but when you find out something dope, you have to respect it.
Yeah, but like at the same time,
that's the difference. So if I'm telling you some shit fire, and you're just going, well, the packaging of it ain't going. No, if it's fire.
So if Academics made a dope ass album, you'd be like, that's fine. I'm gonna check it out. If Tekashi 69 made a dope album, you would listen to it.
The first one was dope.
Never heard it because it's Tekashi 69.
The first one was. I was fucking with. I heard the first one and the second one.
I know the one song that Billy song.
Until he got in that courtroom and did that shit, I was fucking with him.
That nigga wild.
Like until he got in that courtroom, just me and my personal beliefs. I'm not even like angry at him. Do what you gotta do for your own situation. But whatever the case, you wasn't never no street nigga no way, and you shouldn't have been in that predicament. But me personally, I'm not choosing to hear anything you have to say after that, because you done said what you had to say on that stand. But that first album was fire to me, because I'm a person that, like I said, you blog niggas is spoiled because y'all came in.
I don't think it's spoiled.
LimeWire.
I don't think it's spoiled. I think it's choosy.
I'm gonna explain why. You niggas are spoiled because y'all came into this shit getting music for free for the most part. I mean, I say you didn't buy CDs, but the majority of your ascension into hip hop, y'all was getting it for free already. So you can have that snobbish, this. Not to say that I don't do that too. We all do it. But when you came up in that shit from the beginning almost, you just like, I tried. Because that's what it was. It wasn't, we had 7 or 8 rappers. You know what I'm saying?
Put it this way, right? This is my thing. I'm more likely to try new music or new artists as R&B or singing than I am with rap. It's just me. Rap is different for me. I don't want to hear everybody rap. I don't. If you can,
I'm the same way. But
like
my thing is
Russ might be extremely talented. I've heard he's extremely talented. When I look at Russ,
nigga, no,
I don't want to hear that man rap.
You are a backpack nigga. He a backpack nigga.
How is he backpack but Kanye not?
Go listen to Chump. And then when you listen to you ain't even gotta listen to Russ. I understand he makes if you listen to that Chump EP, where it's all lyrics and bars, then you'll understand.
Is that from this year? The project from this year?
That's the one from last year. It's him, Crooked Eye. It's him and all lyricists. It's him, Joel. It's him and rappers.
Listen. I'm gonna tell you something about me right now. I don't know, Vic, I'm not sure if you know this about me or not. But when it comes to Crooked Eye, I ain't got to say it. You can't sell me a Crooked Eye, bro. You can't sell me a Crooked Eye.
You are nuts.
I don't like all that. I don't like that, bro. That's not me.
But it's not always that. See, I
want a Papoose fan. All that. I'm saying all that was.
So you ain't been listening to Pat this year?
No, I heard he's killing. I ain't been listening though. I ain't been listening.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
He jumping that what album every month?
You ain't been listening to Pat this year?
Wasn't that album a month? He doing what's he doing? Album a month?
Oh, the album a month?
I heard like one song. I feel like.
Nah, you bullshit.
It just ain't for me. Ain't my cup of tea.
How lyricism ain't for you when you a person that's a fan of lyricism.
It's different kind of lyricism. It's different realms of lyricism. You got to do more than just say words to me. It's more than just saying words.
So what does the lyricist have to do for you?
A story. A story, not just the story about the world.
You're a content person.
Relatability. Like just it's different. I don't know how to describe it, but listen to
that's what I mean by you niggas are spoiled, man. You niggas is like you niggas got this. You niggas is like the woman who can't keep a good dude because y'all got too many expectations of the nigga. It's like if a nigga is nice, a nigga is nice. If the beat, I
ain't say he's not nice, but like I told you earlier, there's a lot of music.
There's a lot of music. I don't want a nigga who just rap, and all of it ain't. But if the science is dope, that's what I'm saying. Like the Trump project is dope. The shit Pat been doing, working with the producers, he got a Lil Wayne feature. Like my nigga, you tripping. Like
there's a lot of
music is good because I'm not saying every Pat project is good. All of the ones from this year, like the first 2, is like but you could tell he started hitting his stride around March, April. Hey, it's like okay.
I haven't heard every West Side album. I haven't heard every Ransom project.
Too much.
I haven't heard every Ransom project, but like at the same time, I can appreciate it, but I can't listen to you. If you give me an album a month, it's gonna get redundant. Going back to the word redundant, it's gonna get there. Like
I get it.
It gets like West Side to me,
this, right?
Huh?
I view it like this. One day I'm gonna be dead. So I'm gonna take in as much of this shit like okay, I opened up the year losing my best friend, right? And I've just recently come to accepting it like, damn, my bro gone. When verses happen, when albums come out, it's like I think a lot about it like this. DMX was his favorite rapper. He didn't get to hear DMX last album. You see what I'm saying? So for me, I view it like that. I want to take in as much of this shit as I can before I go.
And for me, like I'm all for taking as much in as possible, but I also want to.
Doesn't mean I'm gonna stick with it all, but
that's my thing. Like I don't want to wait. Like this, like for me, I remember being like even like as late as my early 20s. I would have an album memorized by the end of the year. Like I would know every word. I can't quote these albums no more because there's so many projects. like for instance, right, my favorite project of the year probably would have been J. Cole's Off Season. But I haven't heard I haven't heard that project in full in probably over a month because there's so much music. Like I'm listening to Donda, I'm listening to Young Thug's Punk, I'm listening to so many projects that Off Season feel like last year now. Like Off Season feel like so long ago.
See, I keep a certain few in my rotation, and I get what you're saying.
But for me, it's hard. It's hard for me to do that. To be able to.
I listen to Summer every Friday.
But also, to your credit, Vic, I always say this about you. You have this amazing ability to I don't know how you do it. You listen to every project, every podcast, and watch every show. Like you keep a social.
I don't know how I do.
And you a parent. Like I'm like, how does bro do all this shit?
I don't know how I do it shit either. But I don't. Because, man, I sleep when I know that's cliche to say, but I sleep when I die, man. I don't know how much longer I have on this earth. So I want to enjoy the things I enjoy while I'm here, man. Because I can spend all day talking about the shit I don't enjoy, but for what? If I don't enjoy that shit, I'm going to keep moving. And but my thing is, like you said, and maybe this is why I have a coalition of baby mamas from different nationalities. Because like you said, I'm gonna have this pussy, and I'm gonna keep. I was trying to try every pussy. I want to know when I grew up watching Star Trek.
This is gonna be the snippet right here.
Black women, the white women, the green ones, the one-eyed women. Hey, why not? God put it here for all of us. I'm trying to enjoy it all. Why not? Indulge.
Yeah.
So, but I don't. It doesn't mean that it's certain shit that I don't listen to or I might not go to, but ultimately, I just want to enjoy it. I like picking up new things because I like to absorb culture. I like to if I only listen to certain things, I'll only go to certain shows. When I want to kind of go see a bunch of shit. When I get old and I can't do none of this shit no more, and my kids is in their prime, and they can just be talking about some shit that happened in our era, I did that. That's why I like Nori so much. Nori is a person that's just about, hey, the world is my oyster. Why not?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. That's definitely Nori's. I'm saying Nori is definitely about. I'm saying just living. That's definitely important. And for me, like I don't know, man. With music, I would listen to one project 7 times before I listen to 7 projects. I'm saying like I would listen to. I guess it's how I just deal with music differently. It's just like I would listen to. Say for instance, when Young Thug shit dropped, that shit played the whole day. That's only I heard the whole day.
Probably for 2 days when it dropped.
You know what I'm saying like, and
but see, that's the thing, right? Because that's what music is. Because if I could listen to your shit and keep going, it wasn't that. I mean, it might have been good. It might have been,
but I hate that.
But if I go back, if I keep going, and that's why I'm full of so much music, bro. That sometimes I be having songs that I know the words to in my head. And I can't remember what song it is to go back to it when I want to hear it.
Like I'm gonna give you an example. Like you talking about this project maybe last year. I just heard this project for the first time last week and said, "Oh, this shit is kind of decent." The Vic Mensa joint dropped last year. I forgot what it was called.
That Vic Mensa was fire.
I'm saying I think it's called the V tape. I'm like never checked it out.
Yeah, that V tape was hard.
I listened to it like last week and said, "Oh yeah, Vic was right. It's decent."
That's what I be saying because I like to. I'm a digital crate digger.
But also, the other thing is the way, like back in the day, like from record stores, or the FYEs, Best Buy, Sam Goody, like you can go and actually see the product, touch the CDs, whatever. Now, when you go to Apple Music, you go to Spotify, they just show you the shit you listen to. You have to search for shit. I'm not searching. I don't want to be searching. Like,
I like searching for it. That's why, because I hate when people say, especially people my age, ain't no more good music out here. No, you just lazy.
I don't say that.
No, I'm not. People my age, people that's a little older, they always say, ain't no more good music. It's only these young niggas know you just lazy. Why do you have a streaming service if you're not going to go find the shit that you like? It's something, not to say that you have to listen to all of it like I do, but it's something for everybody there. Don't chastise hip hop as a whole because you're too lazy to go find the shit that you like.
Real shit.
That sounds crazy.
Real shit.
That's like going to the club, pardon my French, ladies, but that's like going to the club full of women and being like, ain't no hoes in here. Because
that's the niggas that can't get no pussy.
Out, and it's the type that you like.
That's niggas no game.
I'm just talking that way because men talk that way, ladies.
Only niggas no game for that move. No game.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, let's say hypothetically, you like BBWs or like let's say it's a clique of dudes. Just hypothetically, it's a clique of dudes. One like BBWs, one like tall girls, one like skinny girls, one like white girls, one like Puerto Ricans, and the club is full of all of that. But you just go sit at the bar and be like, man, my type ain't in here.
Ain't looking. Yeah, ain't looking.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right. That's real.
And that's the thing. So it's like we're in a different time. It's a digital time, and people it's going to keep growing without you.
Yeah.
It's going metaverse is happening, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
It's going to keep growing without you. You can
like for me, like I agree with your stance entirely with that. But at the same time, for me, I would never say there's no music out here because I feel like I found the music I like. I found like the Jids, I'm saying the Mick Jenkins, the Sabbas, the Pivot Games, of course.
But at some point, it's just like, okay, for example, you sports guy. Michael Jordan
retired eventually. Yeah.
LeBron is gonna retire soon.
Kobe retired, yeah.
You're not gonna watch it no more if you're a LeBron person.
No.
You know what I mean?
Not at all.
At some point, the JIDs and all them is gonna be.
I mean, but exactly. But at the same time, for me, like they replaced J. Cole and Kendrick in a sense. Not replaced, but like they kind of. I'm saying they're a new group. And I'm sure there'll be a new group after them. But like for me right now, I haven't found anyone that's of the new age under the JID world. Like I haven't heard anything new under that younger than him yet, at least. Like, don't get me started. Hey Vic, don't get me started, Vic.
I think the next album gonna I
don't think so. Honestly, I feel like Cordae could have. I feel like now Cordae's done this thing to me that the public has now started to admire him so much. That I feel like he's gonna become complacent and become one of the darling. Exactly, he became a media darling. Wait, he's gonna be Chance. He's gonna be Chance.
He gonna be A$AP Rocky.
Basically, A$AP been making him a music boy. That boy A$AP is good for life. That boy set. That boy is set.
Yeah. So I mean, I understand it. My thing is just and I think it's a thing of having children. Like I look at some of these young boys, like Rod Wave. He's not going nowhere. He's gonna be around for a minute.
Roddy Ricch, Lil Durk, Lil Baby, yeah, all them cats.
Lil Durk and them, man. Lil Durk been around 10
plus years.
Lil Durk low-key a vet. He just now getting his. It's just like 2 Chainz. He was Titty Boy forever till that True Religion pop.
That's true.
You know what I mean? True. So I stay in tune with it because
Roddy Ricch knows too.
I ain't gonna be the grandfather who don't know what the hell my kids talking about because the world's moving fast.
Like I be trying to listen to the Detroit niggas, right? I just can't do it, bro. I be trying to 42 Doug and what's the other boy name? The funny nigga. What's the funny nigga name from Detroit? What's his name? Buddy is hilarious.
Sada
baby, yeah.
That's my nigga, right?
I'm like, he hit the move. and I get it.
That's my sound though.
Exactly. For me, I get it. Like I just can't sit and vibe with it for too long. Like Larry Jones.
You ever heard of Payroll Giamatti?
I think so.
That's what we talking. Listen to Payroll.
Giamatti.
Like Payroll is more. I think Payroll, even though he's street, he like them, but I think he's more geared towards rapping. Even though he more like if $1 Million Worth of Game was a song.
Okay.
He talking that street get money shit, but he rap. He not just riding a pocket. Babyface Ray.
Life isn't. Also a thing for me. Tell me how you feel about my perspective on this one. Like if an artist, if I heard your album, I like it, I'll go back to the next one. If I hear your next album and I don't like it, probably ain't gonna support your album again. Probably ain't gonna listen to your album again. If example of that, Wale. I ain't hear Wale's last album. I'm not gonna listen to it. I doubt I ever hear that shit. I doubt it ever plays in my head. I doubt it.
You didn't like what's the one with the balloon on the album cover?
The Wow That's Crazy.
Sue me, I'm rooting for everybody that's black.
Wow, that's crazy. Wow, that's crazy.
You didn't like that?
It was cool, but for me, the best part of that project was all the features.
You're nuts. But see, yeah, that's crazy to me because I grew up in an era where the sophomore jinx was a real thing. So that's like saying
I don't think so. I don't believe sophomore. I think that's a myth.
I mean, no. What I'm saying is, I grew up in an era where the sophomore jinx could kill your career.
Yeah, that's fair.
And but
to that point, for me, my favorite artist always had a good second album. My favorite artist always
but my thing is,
my
point is, I grew up in an era where to the masses, that was a real thing. Like, nigga, I like this person, so okay, drop the ball. I don't mean that I'm not going to listen to
I love Volume 1. I think Volume 1 is completely
I was just gonna say.
Yeah.
So according to your logic, but see, you love Volume 1 because you heard it in hindsight. But what you're saying is, according to your logic, in '97, you wouldn't have went back to Jay-Z.
Probably fair.
Most people did not like Volume 1. I was the only nigga going, y'all crazy. And they was like, no, and everybody I thought was crazy, come back to it. And they don't come back now. Don't come back now. No, don't come back now. I told you niggas, in '97, it was dope. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's fair.
That's basically what you're saying. So I get it, but I'm not of that ilk to just discard an artist because experimentation is what make like this was always my plan. If I got, because I was rapping in the time of record deals. My plan was to always, because I like music. My plan was to do some rap albums, then go do a rock album, then I wanted to explore other genres. Now I know the core audience is gonna look at that and say, "Oh, that ain't what I like." So what? Play with this shit. It's music.
Yeah. She'll walk out here doing.
I'm probably in the minority of people who think Lil Wayne's Rebirth album was dope, but people can't hear it because they wanted to hear. At that time, Lil Wayne was on. That's
the joint with Drop the World with Eminem.
Yeah, that's on there.
Well, okay. That project wasn't that bad, but the one after that, I'm Not a Human Being, I hated that shit. Rebirth wasn't that bad. I Am Not a Human Being.
I'm Not a Human Being was dope to me. I mean, it wasn't that. To me,
Rebirth was better,
but it was put together. He was in prison. That was a bunch of throwaways.
Yeah.
Rebirth
was hella solid. Rebirth was hella solid.
Rebirth was dope, but because it wasn't traditional hip hop. But I come from the era where hip hop, where Puff Daddy was doing rock and roll songs.
For me, Nas's most underrated album is Distant Relatives. Like niggas bash that way too much. That album.
I love Distant Relatives. Oh God, I just listened to that album.
Shit. I love that
3-4 weeks. That's one of them albums that
Paradise. That still gets played.
Man, what? That whole album.
Yeah.
My generation was
yes, sir.
That whole album is hard.
Yes, sir.
But that's the problem with us, dog. We have a preconceived notion about shit based on a palette that we kind of set for ourselves when you can it's called being open-minded.
Yeah, that's fair.
If hip hop wasn't open-minded, my nigga, would we be the most streamed genre right now?
Yeah, but also like it's tough, man. It's tough because like the genre, in many ways, don't get me wrong, it's gonna sound wild to say this, but in many ways, the genre is not ours no more. Like the genre is like hip hop culture. Like hip hop used to be strictly black culture. Now it's grown to that. TikTok is like, I'm saying, taking the shit somewhere else. And like for me,
I mean, I wouldn't say that because hip hop wouldn't have been the biggest thing in the world without white people.
Yeah, the concerts, concert goers.
Yeah, like, but at the end of the day, we're in America. Is anything truly ours here?
Yeah, real shit.
We just watched. We just saw what happened. I ain't even gonna talk about it. We just seen what happened.
Yeah.
Were you surprised? Is anything truly ours in America?
Yeah. Yes. I forgot about that. Yes.
We didn't even talk about that shit. I don't no point.
Ain't gotta talk about it, but yeah.
Yeah, but is anything truly ours?
Black Lives Matter.
No, everything that's here that's dope about this country, we made it dope. Sports,
100%.
the athletic, everything pop culture, we made it dope. Shit, we invented the fucking traffic light. Everybody would be crashing right now.
Shout out to Gary A. Morgan. Real shit.
Everything that's dope here, we did it, but none of it's ours. So what are we even saying at this point?
Yeah, man. That shit, it's just deep. It's just deep. It's sad, but it's deep. But like, and for me, like, I think it's because I also, going back to your thoughts about the blog era and how it's being spoiled, like, especially me being like a backpack listener in that blog era, it grooms you to become snobby about music. You become like backpackers.
That's why you don't fuck with Roy. The more I listen to New Roy and Mal, y'all niggas is too alike, bro.
I fucking hate Roy, bro. I ain't gonna lie to
you. You are Black Roy, bro.
No, don't say that shit.
The more shit I hear him say on New Roy and Mal, I'm like, that nigga is white juice.
Yeah,
bro.
Y'all
are so snobby, bro.
That's the difference, though, right?
And the thing about it,
call
right?
me Parks instead.
The thing about it is, when I hear him speak about shit, I understand why you don't like him. But if he, on the opposite perspective, you do the same shit.
Give me, you have an example? You have an example by chance?
What was he talking about the other day? I can't think about it. I swear when I get one, next time I hear something, I'm going to screen record it and send it to you.
As much as I don't like Roy, like I can't lie. When I saw him on Horrible Decisions, and I love the dynamic of him with Weezy and Mandy, and that dynamic was dope as hell to me. Like that I can listen to it. But Marlon Roy by themselves, it gets kind of bland at points. Like at certain points, it gets kind of bland. Like okay. Like I haven't even watched. I just mean
the perspectives.
I haven't even watched Guru and hip hop shit yet.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
No, that's a good one.
I gotta check it out because
that's a really good one.
Just because them two, like Guru is Guru.
That's a really good one. But I mean, but no, y'all two have a lot of like you snobby, bro.
Yeah, I'm not a snob. I admit that. I call myself.
I thought I was bad. Like you sound like me. In 2012, the first time I heard the Migos, like
I probably would agree with you that I probably liked Migos back then, but now I get it.
I hated them. I didn't even like their name. I wouldn't even fuck with them. I'm like, these niggas named the Migos. I don't even like them because of their name.
I'm gonna tell you right now, the dumbest thing I ever said about anybody's music was Young Thug and Rich Homie Quan's Lifestyle came out. I used to hate that song.
I hated that song.
These niggas ain't saying. I love that shit now.
I was just listening to that song like 4 or 5 days ago.
That's my shit now.
And I can remember when that shit first came out. I hated it.
Lifestyle. I hated this shit.
Hey, look, I was at work back the other day going crazy, singing that shit word for word. And when that first came out, I hated it. That's why I said you gotta let go. See, I was in that backpack bag when Migos first came out. Was that 2012? Was it 2012, 2013? When Migos first came out, I was banging Slaughterhouse first album crazy. So the last thing I wanted to hear was that. You know what I mean?
Couldn't get more opposite.
The last thing I wanted to hear was that.
You can't go from onslaught to lifestyle.
I'm listening to Microphone Fiend and fucking Versace. Versace just came out. I was so fucking aggravated. But I had to realize
and also for me, that was also the era where I wasn't liking Drake either. So like for that, it was like a double negative. Like I didn't
like Take Care when I first heard it.
I used to hate Take Care. I definitely hated
Outside of Lord Knows.
And cameras. Joints. And cameras, yeah. It's about it.
I wasn't fucking with Take Care. But
I still don't for real, honestly.
That's why I say it's like, man, you gotta appreciate, because that's what happens. You start listening to certain, like, I don't listen to fucking Joel Ortiz with NBA Youngboy ears.
You can't.
I don't. When I listen to, but that's not to discuss. Like, I don't do that no more. So when NBA Youngboy shit drop, I'm listening to NBA Youngboy with NBA Youngboy ears, and it's like, oh, this shit dope. It's dope, but I can't listen to it when I'm looking at it like I'm looking at it. It's like being that person of a certain echelon looking at other people like, and I'm not doing that when it's all hip hop. I don't mean I have to like it all, but I can't like it if I don't even give it a fair chance. I can't like it if I don't give it a fair chance. Then you be looking back in hindsight. I choose now to exercise the gift of foresight more than hindsight. That's it. Because if not, I mean, shit, Young Thug is a big ball of foresight. Young Thug, right. Kanye is a big ball of foresight. Them niggas knew who they were then. Whether we did or not.
On the real.
So I rather just be like, you know what, let me give this a chance because I don't feel like a bozo if in 6-7 years I go back down the line and be like, hey man, that shit was really dope and I cheated myself of the moment. Because even if you like to sit in hindsight, you missed the moment.
Yeah.
And I like living in the moment. Like, shout out to my guy Harris, True North Views, something that especially when I was going through the things I was going through this year with COVID and death and loss and all the things I've been going through this year, and me reading that book that he put me on, and it's like, you know what? Yeah, be more present in the moment. Because when I seen Puff Daddy and the Family in 97, that was the moment. The reunion is cool, but I was in the moment. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at with this shit. All of it. Enjoy it or not, but I'm gonna know if I enjoy it now. That's it.
That's real.
But,
yeah, man.
You know.
Yeah, man. Hey, you say, I mean, I can't ever rebuke that. There's no rebuttal to that at all, man. You gotta just enjoy being here for sure, man. And hey, you know how I feel about you, bro. It's always love, man. I appreciate
it's always love.
Message
to the viewership, y'all. Live in the moment. We gotta figure out. I would like to get me, you, and Harris on for New Year's.
We gotta do that.
I think that would be
the fact
fire.
that hasn't happened yet is crazy.
I think that would be fire.
Yeah, man, we can make that happen, man.
That would be fire.
I really want to interview the whole TMV crew because I find Deal and Shola a little bit interesting. I
want them to. When I do, I want
the world needs to have a Vic Shola conversation.
When I figure out my interview series, and I want them to one-on-one. I want Shola one-on-one. I want him one-on-one. But I definitely want them to. I want them to, for sure. Shout out to True North Views, man.
Shout out to True North Views, man.
For the audience, if y'all don't, go check out True North Views. Right now, they're in hiatus. So it's a lot of back catalog to check out with them.
A lot of it. They hit 200 yet?
They got 2 years. Yeah, they got 2.5 years worth of catalog. It is solid, too.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I'm happy to be in the hundreds now. Appreciate you being episode 104, Vic, man. Please tell everyone that can follow you.
Know it, man.
Please tell everyone they can follow you and support you, man. Half of the Bishop is still by.
Yeah, we gotta get Bishop still rolling too.
Yes, sir.
But you can check me out on all platforms: TikTok, Twitter. I don't be on TikTok much, but it's there. Yeah. Twitter, Instagram, Uncle Vanglorious. Check me out on YouTube, Spotify, all that other stuff. Uncle Vick Rants. I will be back soon. Uncle Vick Rants will resume shooting this week.
Man, appreciate you, Uncle Vick, man, father of the BKC Network, man. Please make sure y'all follow us on the pod, Good in the Hood pod on Instagram, Good in All Hoods on Twitter, Juice in All Hoods on Twitter, and Juice in the Hood on Instagram. And please get the merch, Good in All Hoods.
Yes, I need some more. I need some red. I was gonna wear Good in the Hood merch today, but I need some red.
I appreciate you, bro, always, man. It's real shit.
We're gonna have a conversation about that too off camera. I want to talk about that off camera.
Yeah, for sure. We can do that anytime. Absolutely, man. Hey,
yes, sir.
But until next time, watching these Bears lose, man. So I'll let y'all, man. Peace.
All right.